Welcome back. After I decided to procrastinate quite a bit on this, and in all honesty, forgot about this, we are back with Prowling the Grounds. And no shortage of possible mess-ups there. Also, I have a much better mic now. At least it should sound much better.
That blimp looks like the most secured location on this boat. If Raleigh's really as smart as his police files suggest, then that's where I'll find him.
Wonderful idea, but your plan is flawed.
Why?
Because it's impossible to get near him. To access Raleigh's blimp, you would have to sneak through that high-voltage power tube. To do that without getting electrocuted, you'd have to destroy that power generator. And to do that, you'd need 2 more of Raleigh's treasure keys, which are heavily guarded.
Interesting. So when are you gonna get to the impossible part?
Fine. But I warned you. I've marked the areas you need to hit with holographic markers. Follow them to your objectives.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. It's your funeral.
Now, here's what I always liked about Sly Cooper. You had to go through everything, but you could do it in an order of your choosing. So, it was a platformer, but not linear per se. Yes, there was an overall linear path you had to go through, but it forked.
Wow, you found a lucky charm. That'll protect you when you take any damage.
And it's been a while, but if I recall correctly, the charms do stack. And there's a little bit of voice acting. Now, I did say I was going to split these things into parts, but it's going to be Prowling the Grounds into the Machine, Prowling the Grounds, and then I forget the next name, but yeah, this is going to be section by section.
Jump and press the square button. That'll slam them shut.
Now, for the most part, the enemies are predictable, but at the same time, it gets very easy later on not to notice the ranged enemies attacking you, or forget one guy's chasing after you, and so on and so forth.
My analysis tells me that if you trace the spinning crankshaft all the way back to its source, you'll find Raleigh's treasure key and sabotage his machine while you're at it.
Now, Sly Cooper is a rather simplistic game, but it's still a good game. I mean, hey, Tetris is simple.
Near the blue stealth auras to perform super sneaky thief moves.
Not to say anything's on the level of Tetris, but you get my point. And always try to make sure you get every coin you can. Mostly because you'll end up finding a bunch of stuff if you try to make sure you track down every coin in the level. And not to mention the endless fun you have breaking the environment in this game. Generally speaking, it's been shown if there's a destructible environment, or people find out that it's possible to break something in a game, they'll check to see what else they can break in game. And in this game, it gets coins. Now, this is a rather annoying series of bottles to get, mostly because you pretty much have to go through the level again if you don't get them all. and I missed the extra life, but still got the bottles. What's a platformer without a good series of death traps? Now, the obvious safe zones, or rather the obvious harmful zones, are the lines across the ground, but still, you need to pay attention to the timing. Always make sure to check behind in case there's a bottle in the air or something like that. And again, obvious safe zones in this one, but again, as you'll notice, some have 2 blades, some have 3, so timing. As well as you'll notice also, if you get hit while on this with the horseshoe, it'll take away the horseshoe, but it's better than having to restart at the checkpoint. And here we have another series of bottles, except this time there's lasers added to it. Not to mention last time they had the free guy here, and now they have the bottle here, so you pretty much have to run through the entire thing. And me having originally jumped on the wrong part of the machine, but a lot of moving platforms are going to start showing up. You'll also notice me acting a little squirrely, but that's me just being OCD, making sure I double check everything, or hey, a shadow moved. At least to me it seemed like it. Sometimes you'll notice a platform somewhere, sometimes you won't. Sometimes there'll be nothing there. Sometimes you'll not know where the way up is, and sometimes you'll just run into the
Bummer, you can't open this vault without fighting the rest
vault for
of
the
the
area.
clues.
Now, sometimes the vault will be located right at the end after where all the bottles are located. Sometimes it'll be in the middle. Sometimes it'll be closer towards the end, but not quite all the bottles, like in this case where I had 27 of 30. And I think one time it's actually right at the beginning because the entire place loops, but they're always seemingly in random positions. You'll also typically notice sounds of guys somewhere nearby and say, oh hey, I have to get them. And then you'll also find little vaults everywhere that you can break. And usually those end up having the bottles you need. Not always, but usually. majority of the time, the first time you run through an area or run in a specific part of an area, you'll have missed the bottom. And then go through it and run into it the second time, like I did.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. I can't believe I pieced this one together. Try 227. Interesting. Old Sally Cooper's fast getaway raccoon roll. Stories claim she can move faster rolling than anyone else could on the run. Hold down the triangle button to use this move. Switch between your power-ups using L2 and R2.
Now, some of these you will absolutely need to get through parts of the game. I believe the roll is one of them. I could be wrong on that. I might be thinking of later games, but some of these you don't even really need to get to complete the game. I believe the speed up and slow down aren't necessary. The speed up is really, really helpful though. You'll also have spots like this where you really need to move fast because the traps will reset themselves and you'll probably get killed and have to start at the last checkpoint. And sometimes it's a brutal walk depending on how close you get. But here we have the key, first of many to get. And next time we will continue with the next part, which I believe was high class heist after Prowling the Grounds. See you then.